Hey, this is Majanoni, and welcome to another edition of The Good, the Bad, and the Disappointing. This time, I could actually have just the good, and let's forget about the disappointing, because there's actually a bunch of books where I was really surprised at how good they were. But ultimately, I had to pick one, and I'm picking Secret Wars number 2. Now, I'm sure some of you might be gasping in shock because it's Secret Wars. And how could Marvel ever do another one of these mini event type things and do it well? Well, let me tell you, they actually did a fairly decent job this time for the prequel, so to speak. Let's start off first. The art is just amazing. This is definitely one of those types of things where you look at it and you just go, okay, this is the way they should be treating a top, the push book of the season, or the next couple months, I should say, a few months. Now, backing it up a little bit, what they really did right about Secret Wars 2 is this. If you remember going back to a bunch of the other miniseries, whether it be Marvel or DC, pretty much they just throw you smack dab into the middle of things. Like Civil War 1 was basically, boom, the explosion hits. Secret Wars, granted, that one was like a build-up over time through the Avengers, but if you've never read the Avengers and you just start with Secret Wars, it's kind of like, boom, it's just started. You look at Convergence, for an example, or Future's End, same thing. It was something more or less, it just starts. Now, Civil War 2 is a complex story in the sense that you have an Inhuman that was just recently discovered that can see the future. And you have two sides of the conflict. One side is we need to use this person to prevent disasters. And then the other side is you can't do that because, just because somebody says it's going to happen in the future, you can't punish them or arrest them until they've actually committed the crime. Now, what they did good about this is they actually gave you points of thought. For an example, there's the part where She-Hulk is in court defending the Jester, the Jester, because he claims he's rehabilitated, and he got arrested because he was talking to people about crime, about his past experiences, things like that. According to She-Hulk, he never intended, he never did anything. He was just talking about the past. And how can you arrest somebody for talking about the past or talking about a crime? It's not a crime to do that. Now, then we go to Captain Marvel, where she's talking about, I have started this new group called the Ultimates, and we're trying to prevent disasters before they happen. And, she's having a dialogue with Doc Samson about this. And again, it's something that makes you think, is that the right course of action to step in before something occurs? Now, along the way with that, then we have little bits of like War Machine, and then you have the actual birthing of the new Inhuman. Now, what I really liked about this book is how they basically brought you into the story. It's really preparing you for what's coming next, because at the very end of this, you see what the vision is for the future, and it's not a pretty future. So it's already starting on a path of, well, who's right, ethics. And that's why I really like this book over all the other ones, is it puts you in the right frame of mind for when Civil War actually will start at number 1. Overall, they did a great job. I thought Bendis did a great job. The whole team did a great job, and I was really, really surprised with how this turned out. So, anyways, let's go on to the bad, which probably won't come as much as a surprise to some people, but my bad is Star-Lord. Everybody likes gossip. Everybody likes, they, even though they won't admit it, they want to know who, what, when, where, why a couple broke up. Who's at fault, right? And this is this issue here is addressing that very topic. Why did Kitty Pryde and Star-Lord break up? And the Collector is holding this game like a talk show type format to get to the bottom of it. And I gotta say this, while it was funny at times with what the Collector was doing, this was one of the most uninteresting ways at resolving who, what, when, where, why. Because through all of the nonsense, we finally get to the meat of what's going on, and then they just stop it. And I'm like, oh. And I get it, they stopped it because they're going to push it to the next issue, and then maybe somewhere a year from now we'll finally find out why they broke up. But I'm just telling you, I already gave up on caring why they broke up. And this book was just god-awful. It was just, the art was okay, the story was just, it was just painful. I guess the way I can describe it best is this. Imagine you're at work and you're at school, doesn't matter. Even you're at home. And you're sitting next to two older women who gossip about what they saw on the Kardashians about some relationship. That kind of nails to the chalkboard is how I felt as I was reading this. You can't escape because you're at work or you're at school. Maybe you're home and then it's your mom and your aunt, and you can't be rude and just leave even though you want to because you haven't seen her in 10,000 years. And the pain as they talk about what they saw on reality TV. And that's what I felt. Oh. So I needed a good book, and unfortunately I didn't get it when I read Squadron Supreme number 7. That was my huge disappointment. It's, okay, I'll be honest, I was really curious to find out the Battle of the Nighthawks. I should have looked through this book before I went to the register. Because most of the book is about the what's her name? The Green Lantern clone from the Squadron Supreme, Toro and Black Bolt, and how Toro is apparently an Inhuman. And they talk about Namor and other things. But then by the time we get to the fight between the two Nighthawks, it's at the very end. And then that's when just reality just sunk in. This Nighthawk is going to get his ass whooped, because they need to make this Nighthawk look really good. Because this Nighthawk is a wuss. Let's be honest. This Nighthawk is a Class D superhero. Yeah, granted he was in the Defenders, but it's not like he's super powerful or anything. He doesn't have great fighting skills or anything. So this Nighthawk can't lose. So he's going to get whooped. So if I buy number 8, it's only because I want to see him get whooped. Horrible freaking disappointment. I should never have bought it. I should have trusted my sixth sense, but I said no. We'll just pick it up, go to the register, all will be good. I was sadly mistaken. Anyways, that is my good, bad, and the disappointing. We'll have some more reviews later. Like, share. Let me know what you guys thought was your good, your bad, your disappointing. We'll have more stuff later, so until next time.